generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel, Dyad in the Rough. Today, I want to go over some information that came out about some Star Wars stuff that could be talked about at San Diego Comic-Con, which is coming up. StarWars.com actually released this themselves, so we got some good stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and bring up the article. So this article talks about some of the things that we can expect from Comic-Con, and we're going to go through and talk about some of them and give some thoughts. So we can see here the headline, New Battle of Jakku comic and other reveals ahead of the Lucasfilm panel. I'm hoping that there is much more than just some books that will be talked about at the Lucasfilm panel, just so that we can, have some other cool things to look forward to. Don't get me wrong, books are cool. But at the same time, maybe some new show information, maybe a trailer for Skeleton Crew, all that good stuff. But let's take a look at what they talked about today. So we have Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising. So this is a new Marvel Maxi series. Looks like it's written by Alex Segura. And let's see, it follows the events of Star Wars issue number 50 and Star Wars Darth Vader issue number 50 as the Marvel Star Wars series jumps forward in the time after the events of Star Wars Return of the Jedi to witness the success of the Rebel Alliance. It says the final battle of the Galactic Civil War begins with the first issue, October 2, 2024. Today, get your first look at the cover art for all 4 issues. So we can see issue 4 is here up on, let's go back to the first one. So this is issue 1, and then we have issue 2, 3, and 4. So the thing that I'm kind of wondering about this Battle of Jakku series is how much will it, like, let me back up. So if you haven't played Star Wars Battlefront 2 from EA, they actually have the Battle of Jakku as a featured battle in that game. And so it makes me wonder what other angle of that we are going to get here from this series. If I remember correctly, it was your main character. She goes and she's fighting against the Empire. She's already turned to the Rebel side at this point. I feel like I remember she was like fighting on the side of the Star Destroyer and attacking stormtroopers on there, which is kind of where the inspiration came from for the Rise of Skywalker when they were doing all that stuff. So I'm curious to see if we see any different sides to it. Of course, I feel like we are because during that battle, we did not see Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, any of them. It was basically the people that we followed throughout the game, and we saw their perspective from it. So I'm curious to see how this one pans out. All right, so what's next? What is next is the prequel trilogy graphic novel. So it says a new collection of the illustrated adaptations of The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith has just been announced from Dark Horse and is available for pre-order starting today. Relive every key moment from the collection arrives November 12. So this I'm also curious about because it kind of looks like, the illustrations of the comics and graphic novels that came out back when the films came out. That was actually my introduction to comic books. Was I read the Star Wars Episode 3 comic because the comics had come out before the movie. And so you kind of got your insight of what the movie was going to look like. It was like our first spoilers. I think I was in eighth grade, and so it was like a big thing. It was like, wow, we know what Star Wars is before the movie comes out. Accompany that with the video game that came out early, and you kind of knew what was going on in that movie. But I'm curious to see, is this just basically a reprint of those three graphic novels put together? Or is this going to be some sort of reimagining of it with all new art? I'm not 100% sure because I don't know the authors and the illustrators from the ones back when, because if they match, then there's a good chance that they were the same. But I have no idea. So I think this could be very cool. I am curious to see though, is it new or is it just a rehash? We do have more content coming from the High Republic. Looks like we got the High Republic Adventures. I have not read any of the High Republic literature, so I don't know who these people are. If they were characters from the show, of course, the Acolyte, then I would have a possibility of knowing who these characters are. But it looks like there isn't even much description about it, which is kind of weird. The High Republic Adventures Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone, number 2. And this comes out in November as well. It says it's a century before the Acolyte, so 100 years before the events of the Acolyte. Interesting. We're always doing this 100-year stuff. I wonder when we're going to get lost in time. I saw this one announced a day or two ago because people were criticizing the fact that there really isn't any animation on the cover here. But this is a new Star Wars encyclopedia that is coming out from DK Readers, and looks like there's going to be a foreword by Rosario Dawson, so that's kind of cool. I do recognize that on the cover here, we don't see a lot of those animation characters. But we do have live action versions of some of the animated characters. So like we have Ahsoka and we do have Chopper down there. So I would think that they are going to still talk about the animated series and things that happen in them. I have actually, like, I've had a Star Wars encyclopedia in the past, but I haven't actually like gone through and read a lot of details. I think the farthest that I've gotten with something like that are the videos I've done where it's like the secrets of the Jedi or the secrets of the Sith, secrets of the bounty hunter, all that good stuff. I've done stuff like that, but an entire encyclopedia, I actually have not gone through one of those, so I think that'd probably be fun. Looks like that comes out in November as well. And then here we have the picture that's behind me. This one is from the High Republic Edge of Balance Premonition. So it looks like this isn't releasing until next April. But it says, whether you love the High Republic and the prequels. Oh, okay, that's just closing things out. I thought that this was going to be more about this comic, but looks like this is called Premonition. Maybe it's going to be some sort of connection between Yoda and uh, Plagueis, just because we saw, those two at the end of the Acolyte season 2. But who knows? I don't read these, so I wouldn't know. Makes me wonder if there's going to be any attempt at fixing certain things in the Acolyte. And then we have Star Wars Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Looks like Patton Oswalt is going to be leading this discussion, which is awesome. I love Patton Oswalt. Um, Everything from The King of Queens to Stuart Little. And I haven't seen a lot of his projects as of late, but definitely love Spence. But it looks like it says, from the High Republic to the Age of Rebellion, join storytellers of all kinds in this epic celebration of creativity across the Star Wars galaxy with exciting reveals from upcoming books, comics, and games. So it makes me think, just based on looking at this picture, they'll probably be talking about Outlaws, and they'll definitely be talking about the High Republic, just because, High Republic is what Disney wants to basically put their official stamp on. I know that they did the sequel trilogy, and that's their own, of course, but that's, the Skywalker saga. It's not their era that they've created. So I think because the High Republic is a space where they felt that they could be 100% creative and do what they want, they're definitely going to emphasize it. So we'll probably hear about that. See, it says moderated by Patton Oswalt. This panel will bring together writers, artists, and actors from across the Star Wars galaxy, including the voice cast behind the upcoming open world scoundrel adventure Star Wars Outlaws. Very, very cool. Um, let's see. They're going to bring out the creative director. Attendees can also expect a sneak peek at what is next for upcoming Star Wars books and comics. Dun-dun. Okay, looks like a lot of um, High Republic stuff to be looking forward to. So, what are my thoughts on this? Because that's the end of the article. My thoughts are I'm a little concerned that there's such an emphasis on the High Republic at Comic-Con. I'm hoping that we get some surprises here, right? That we weren't expecting. I would love an update on the what was that? Eclipse. I'm hoping we get some sort of update on Star Wars Eclipse. I'm hoping we get some sort of update on Knights of the Old Republic remake. That would be very cool. But at the same time, the reason why I feel like we're not going to get information about that is because Outlaws is coming out next month and they want to focus all their attention on, what's coming out. They don't want to deter us away from that attention. So I feel like it's going to be a low chance of getting something more video game related. But hey, anything can happen. Also, I think it would be a great time to drop the Skeleton Crew trailer because the Acolyte is over and we don't have any shows to really talk about, right? I know in the past they've kind of done this thing where they announce Star Wars Visions and then it comes out a month later. That's been pretty wild. So I wouldn't put it past them if they have some sort of secret project they've been working on and they just, basically say coming next month and they dump that out. Because I don't think Skeleton Crew is probably going to release until November or December. And there's a lot of time and space in between now and then. So we'll have Outlaws in August. I don't really know what we have in September, October. Like I said, maybe November will be Skeleton Crew, maybe December. So there's a lot of empty space there for Star Wars. So I think they should put in some stuff to fill in. Now, I recognize, we just went through all this and there's a lot of these comic books that are coming out, in the November and the encyclopedia and all that. But unless you're a fan of the books, that's not going to hold you over. So, like me, because I don't read a lot of the Star Wars books. Uh, I don't know. I hope there's something there for me. But when they do all these reveals, of course, we'll be talking about it. So to make sure that you come back, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you are notified when we release our video talking about what happened at San Diego Comic-Con. Drops a like if you like the video and drops a comment letting us know your thoughts on what they have revealed prior to the panel. Do you think this is going to be pretty much it, or do you think there's going to be a hidden banger in there as well? And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.